to study at all? Can's knowledge is amazing! Could Sumeru have Can's knowledge about the different customs of the 7 nations, too? If so, Paimon could just open a can every time we get to a new place. Paimon wouldn't have to explain things ever again!
Or we could just open them all here in Sumeru.
But traveling wouldn't be any fun without surprises to look forward to.
Ooh, plus, if we open them all here, I wouldn't even need Paimon as a guide anymore.
Okay, scrap that idea! No more can knowledge! Let's save our mora for something else! Something like... Oh, tipping Paimon for guide services! Seems fair, right? The Eremites are a real motley crew.
There's certainly a diverse range of characters.
Yeah, that could explain it. Oh, Paimon can play lots of different characters, too! Judgy Paimon, knowledgeable Paimon, helpful Paimon!
And of course, the classic, completely misses the point Paimon.
The first time we saw the wall of Samiel, Paimon was stunned! It seems to go on forever!
Well, it was built to protect the entire rainforest after all.
And it's so tall! Who knows if you'll be able to climb all the way to the top?
I doubt it. Also, why do I have to climb it exactly?
Because it's right there.
Even so... No.
The wall of Samiel is right there in front of us.
I know, but it's way too...
But it's the wall of Samiel!
Fine, I'll go, okay?
All these Sumeru scholars seem to wear Akasha terminals, so they can get information from the Akasha system. It's like they're carrying an interactive encyclopedia with them, wherever they go. Oh, Paimon's kinda jealous.
Well, I'm not jealous. I have an even better encyclopedia that automatically follows me around, gives me the A to Z on everything into that, and the best part is, it can even talk.
Huh? Was that a compliment? Aw, you're making Paimon blush. Paimon definitely doesn't know as much as an encyclopedia. A to Y at most.
Well, you know, maybe if you ate a little less, you'd have room for Z, too.
Hey! Arama, Arana, Araja, Arakavi. Whew. Aranara names are so hard to remember. The only bit Paimon's sure of is that they all start with Ara.
Right. So if you were an Aranara, your name would be Ara Paimon.
Yep. And as for you... Actually, they'd probably call you Nara Traveler.
Yeah, we're all Nara to them.
So, if there was someone whose actual name was Nara, what would the Aranara call them?
Nara. I guess. Sounds kinda cute.
Yeah! For some reason, the Aranara's food all tasted a little too... how to put this? A little too fresh. It's totally different from what we usually eat.
Yeah, but their ingredients are top quality.
Yeah, that's true. Still, those mushrooms and fruits were so raw, it felt like they were gonna keep growing in Paimon's stomach.
You're exaggerating, right? You do have a point, though. Maybe the best ingredients don't need a lot of fancy cooking.
You're right. If the ingredients are good enough, they'll taste great, even when cooked with the simplest methods.
Just like Paimon. Just a little salt and pepper and...
Hey! For crying out loud! We're in Sumeru now! Don't you think that joke's getting a little old? How did a genie that big get into Dori's lamp?
Only one way to find out. In you go, Paimon.
Not a chance! There's no way Paimon would fit in there!
Okay, well, if you want, you can be the genie of the Serenity Pot instead.
Ooh, great idea! Paimon's down!
You seem pretty excited about this.
Yeah! Paimon's been wanting to try this for ages! Ahem. Poof! Didst thou summon me, O traveler from a distant land? Come on, come on! Now you have to grant Paimon 3 wishes. Paimon's first wish is, bring Paimon lots of delicious food.
Hey, you're not supposed to be the one making wishes.
Whoa, healthcare is free in Sumeru?
Are you feeling unwell, Paimon?
No, not right now. Thanks for asking, though. Eating the street food on every corner has never sounded so tempting.
Your stomach is gonna punish you for that.
If so, Paimon will go see a doctor and get treated. It's all for free. It'd be a waste not to take advantage of this, don't you think?
Maybe, but then again, the treatment would likely include a restricted diet.
Oh no! So no more delicious food then?
That, plus the doctor would make you take the most bitter-tasting medicine ever.
Oh, okay. Maybe Paimon needs to reconsider this idea. So many people in Sumeru want to become scholars. Motivated by this ambition, they all study really hard to try and achieve it. But Paimon bets that the first ever scholar didn't set out to become a scholar. So what do you think the first ever scholar's ambition was?
Probably to get their research paper written as quickly as possible.
Huh? But isn't a scholar's ultimate goal supposed to be pursuing the highest and greatest knowledge or something? Paimon's sure that it must have been because of a fervent desire for knowledge that they became Sumeru's first true scholar.
Writing papers is how you pursue knowledge.
But what about when it's the highest and greatest knowledge of all?
Even then, if you wanted to prove it, you'd need a research paper. And after that, you'd need to start working on another paper to validate your original thesis.
Okay, Paimon's got it. Come on, don't look so sad. It's not like you have to worry about writing papers yourself. You've never had to write a paper before, right? Paimon wants to go visit the Amurta scholars.
When did you become such an avid student, Paimon?
Well, Paimon heard that the Amurta scholars' research is all about nature. Which means they must have to research which animals are edible and which ones taste the best. And that kind of thing. Paimon thinks it'd be really fun to help them out with their research.
In other words, you've got a craving for some tasty organic dishes.
No, Paimon genuinely thinks that it's a really meaningful research topic and wants to help out.
Well, in that case, I think the Amurta scholars might be more interested to find out about Paimon's species and behavioral patterns.
Gee, is that the time? Paimon just remembered we have something else more important to do. Sumpter beasts are adorable. Paimon likes how the people who keep them give them each a special name based on their most distinctive traits.
For all we know, the Sumpter beasts might be giving each of us a name in return. Maybe that's how they respond when we call their name.
Really? So what kind of name do you think they'd give us?
Moo.
How is anyone supposed to understand that?
A rough translation would be vociferous, pestiferous, malleolus, niveus, microbipedal. That's the scientific name, of course.
Oh? What would the common name be then?
Noisy two-legged critter.
Hey, why keep only the negative traits? There are 6 Darshans in Sumeru. Ooh, it would be cool if Paimon had her own Darshan too. It'll be called Paimonology.
What wisdom would Paimonology stand for?
Practical wisdom for everyday life.
So Paimonology scholars would specialize in the art of cooking slimes in 100 different ways, never letting a single Mora escape their grasp, giving people ugly nicknames, etc.?
Whoa, you read Paimon's mind! Also, don't forget how to become the best travel guide in Teyvat. Oh, this is a fantastic idea! Come on, let's go submit a Darshan application to the Academia! From this day on, you'll be the Grand Sage of Paimonology!
I'd like to decline the honor, please.
Did you know that there are all kinds of strange shroomkin in Sumeru?
Oh yeah, here's a fun one. Legend has it there were some forest boars who couldn't live without mushrooms, and the two species gradually formed a symbiotic relationship with each other. Now they're known as Shroomboars.
Whoa, that's a lot like us. Paimon can't live without you either.
If you can't live without me, that means I'm the shroom and Paimon's the...
Boar! Hey, wait a second! The residents of the Grand Bazaar are all so talented. They sell their own woven goods, beautiful vases and jars, and delicious-smelling spices that make Paimon's tummy start rumbling. And they all sing and dance really well. Paimon wishes she could do that.
Well, if you're serious about it, there's no reason you couldn't learn.
What? Really?
Well, for starters, you have a natural advantage when it comes to dancing. You won't trip over yourself or accidentally step on someone else's foot.
Oh yeah! Paimon always forgets how useful flying can be. Alright then, let's go bust a move at the Grand Bazaar and watch everyone shower Paimon with admiration.
Aha. So that's what this is about.
People in Sumeru seem to take divination and fortune-telling pretty seriously. For starters, there's astrology, although only the scholars get to practice that. But ordinary citizens have their ways too. They can do divinations with just a cup of coffee.
It's the nation of wisdom, after all. It seems like people have an insatiable curiosity to learn about everything, including their own future.
Paimon heard that they can tell your fate just by looking at the bottom of a finished cup of coffee. Sounds way easier than climbing to the top of a tower and staring at the stars all night.
Oh, so you're interested in learning your fate now?
Yeah, although Paimon's really more interested in finding out what the coffee tastes like. Khedive and Anissa kept talking about Purbiruni this and Pursina that. Why do all these words have Pur at the front?
Well, Pur means descendant and also student. So in this case, they're referring to themselves as the children and students of the great sages of old.
Huh, so that's what it means. From the way they were throwing these words around, Paimon was sure it'd be something to be proud of.
Wait, but isn't it?
Well, Paimon for one would much rather be known as the founding father than have a name that basically says, so-and-so's my daddy. Pretty embarrassing, don't you think?
I have to admit, I've never thought about it like that.
It's not only Sumeru locals at the academia, huh? There are students from other nations, too. Imagine leaving your hometown behind and traveling to a faraway and unfamiliar land in the pursuit of learning. How inspiring.
We travel to unfamiliar lands pretty often, too.
Huh. You're right. That means we're also super inspiring.
Not in the pursuit of learning, though.
Oh, so we're not as inspiring as the students after all. But we do know the best places to eat in Sumeru and who you can rely on to help you out. That counts as knowledge, right?
Yeah, and to many people, it could be extremely valuable knowledge.
Great! So we're just as inspiring as them after all. The whole of Sumeru City is built on top of a giant tree. How amazing is that? We've seen lots of incredible trees on our journey, haven't we? There's our old stomping ground at Windrise, the frost-bearing tree on Dragonspine, and the sacred sakura on Inazuma. Sumeru's tree doesn't seem to have a fancy name, though. People just call it the Divine Tree.
Sometimes the most important things have the simplest names.
Really? Maybe you have a point. Long names would be kinda inconvenient if you had to say them every day. Anyway, people in the city only have to say down below, and everyone knows they mean the bottom of the tree. What's that saying again? Names aren't things themselves, they're just words for things.
So is Paimon just a word for a thing, too?
Yeah! Kinda. But, wait, no! Paimon is just Paimon. So, with Sumeru having so many scholars in different Darshans, do you think they end up arguing a lot? You know, just like the rivalry between Lee Cuisine and Yue Cuisine in Liyue.
I'm sure they do. Conflict between different schools of thought is the most normal thing ever. As the Liyue martial arts novels say, wherever there are people, there will be conflict.
Wow, what a line! That's heavy. But the scholars in Sumeru probably don't duel like Liyue martial artists, right?
Maybe they settle things with a game of Genius Invocation, TCG.
Oh, good point! A duel of wits. Paimon can just imagine it. When one scholar can't convince another in an argument, he takes out his deck of cards, calmly sits down opposite his opponent, thinks for a moment, and then secures his victory!
That does sound like something that would happen in Sumeru.
The game ends, and the winner says, "Good game," as a sign of respect to his opponent. After that, both sides are back on good terms.
Saying that would probably only escalate the conflict.
Huh? Why? Whew. Port Ormos definitely has a different vibe to Sumeru City. It's a bustling area, and there's so many Outlanders. Plus, no one needs to spend all their time buried in their studies, which is nice.
Yes, but that's why they end up being disciplined by the port authorities. So you see, Paimon, if you don't study hard, you'll end up just like them.
Oh. Wait, what was that tone of voice for? Port Ormos is built on the ruins of the fortress of the Alliance of the Alliance of something, anyway. The name's too long. Paimon can't remember it. Anyway, that's what all the bookish people in Sumeru say.
Oh, you mean the Alliance of the 29 Ocean Days? Apparently, the Alliance was formed by a bunch of arrogant pirate leaders, none of whom wanted to work for any of the others. They fought and looted each other constantly, causing endless chaos in coastal Sumeru. Finally, one day, they decided to enter into an alliance with one another and divide power equally between themselves. The members of the alliance were called Deys.
Oh, and so after that, there was no more fighting and no more stealing, so everyone could get along happily and make a boatload of war together. Right? Right?
Well, presumably that's what they were hoping.
Huh?
Before long, they were forming factions again, and the infighting between them escalated into the biggest internal battle they'd seen yet. Their fortress at Port Ormos was completely destroyed, and all the Deys were done for.
What?
Following that, an unprecedented period of peace finally came to Port Ormos, and the area began to develop into what we see today.
Huh. So the Alliance was just a bunch of dumb bad guys. Cyno's super into that card game, Genius Invocation TCG, isn't he? Doesn't it seem kind of weird for the General Mahamatra to be into playing cards?
Not when you consider his hairstyle.
Huh? What has his hairstyle got to do with it?
When you're playing a card game, the fancier your hairstyle, the more distracting it is for your opponent. What's going on with this guy? How did he manage to shape his hair like that? When your opponent's mind is consumed with thoughts like this, you'll quickly gain the upper hand.
Really? Then we better think twice before playing against him.
I don't know. I think I might just have an advantage over him.
But you don't have a fancy hairstyle at all, and your clothes look pretty normal, too.
But I do have Paimon. You know, he'd be like, "What's up with this guy? And what's that pesky flying companion of his up to?" As long as you're floating by my side, Cyno's mind will be consumed with thoughts like this. I, on the other hand, would be completely unfazed by his hairstyle, so I'd be able to focus, and victory would be mine.
Forget it. If you want to play cards, go get a funny haircut. Curry, curry in the air. Hungry children, it's time to come home.
Curry, curry in the air.
Wow, good job. So you remember the tune as well.
Good job to you too, Paimon. You sing really well.
That's because Paimon's got a great plan. Have you heard this story? Once upon a time, there was a hairy hound who was given meat to eat whenever the Samachurls started dancing. Eventually, the hairy hound started drooling whenever it heard the sound of dancing. Whenever we hear the curry song, we get curry to eat. So all Paimon has to do is learn the song by heart, and then in the future, whenever Paimon is craving a big bowl of tasty curry, all she has to do is sing it. Hey, aren't you gonna say something? Curry, curry in the air. Hungry children, it's time to come home.
Paimon, do you ever find that the word Aranara trips you up?
Why does it trip you up? Maybe that's because you don't really say anything most of the time. Unlike Paimon, Paimon has to talk all the time, so she never gets stuck on words.
Okay, well, try reading this then.
What is it? Let's see here. Arana the Aranara exercises Arara Kalari in the nearby area. Narana the Nara picks Patisaras in a parallel area further afield. Narana the Patisara picking Nara had arranged to invite Arana the Aranara to the bar to befriend Lombard. But alas, Arana the Arara Kalari exercising Aranara professed a preference to Patisara picking Narana for venturing to Vanarana to view the panorama. On account of Arana the Aranara's antipathy to bar drama, Narana the Nara relented, and upon accompanying the latter on a Vanarana panorama adventure, encountered another Aranara named Arama. This must be one of those really weird dreams, right? But this headache feels pretty real.